happening much later in the day because today is part of a long weekend and there's been all kinds of noises around. So I hope that it works for you doing it at night and there's not too many lights, but this is the best we can do today. So need to meet you again. We are now moon on Scorpio on Monday the 26th, which is tomorrow. And Scorpio invites us to go into a journey of deeply into mystery and spirit. It looks at whatever's forgotten and hidden, and the full moon is going to shine a light on these things and bringing them out so that we can see them and clear them and cleanse them. It's moving shadow stuff from the dark, from the hidden, from the caves into the light, and so that we can understand that through our insecurity and our lack of self-trust, we often hide our greatest gifts, thinking that for some reason we don't deserve it, or we're not good enough, or perhaps it's not what we need to be doing. But now is the time, the full moon anyway is going to shine the light. And the full moon is in Taurus. The moon is... forgive me, please. The sun is in Taurus. And so that's an earth sign, and it's the Scorpio moon is a water moon. So there's this wonderful play of earth and water as the water sinks deep and finds little channels and canals deep down into the earth to bring these up, shine light on these things. So allow yourself, be kind to yourself, look after yourself. This is a time for going deep with a lot of magic, and there's a lot of coming together and finding those deep, darkest places, those things that have been holding you back from really, really being who you really love to be. So be kind, look after yourself. This is a wonderful time. This is now when we're being part of ourselves is asking us now to look at the unfold our deepest psyche, our deepest desires. So then let's get a card for that will help us allow the watery Scorpio full moon to come into and find our deepest, darkest places, shine light on it, bring it up with it in the gentlest possible way. And interestingly enough, here we have card number 35. And that card speaks of life is an illusion. Stop taking yourself so seriously. Find a little bit of humor in things. This card says you can do life with your eyes closed. It's not necessary to concentrate on purely one thing at the moment, to follow a straight line, see it through to the end. This is delving into the mystery. This is allowing 4 or 5 or 6 different things to be, what I call these balls that the clown is juggling. You can juggle many things in your life all at the same time. At any one time, they are filled with divine potential. At any one time, you can pick one aspect and work with it and investigate it and love it and see it into the light. And when you're ready, you can throw that ball up in the air and catch another one. So there's a constant, like a spiral, a constant unfolding, a constant finding your way with these wonderful and beautiful things. So again, take yourself away from the drama. It's a tendency to feel sorry for yourself, to be in that state where we go into drama. And the card says, no, stay away from drama. It's an illusion. Everything around you is a little video you've created to help you grow, help you learn your things. So acknowledge that. Find a little bit of humor in it. Just let things be. Acknowledge them. Step up into them, shine your light on them, and be concerned that you are going to be caring of yourself firstly, and when you are really full, it's easy to take care of others. So don't do it from a place of depletion, not enough, too much nastiness going on. Allow it out and allow yourself to be gentle, to be kind, and to acknowledge that this is the natural progression of things as they need to go. It really is time for all of us to dig really, really deep, but you can do it in love. It does not have to be an unhappy thing. So now I'm going to pick a card that will help us for our spiritual being. How do we find, if we're going through these deep and mysterious and sometimes possibly hard things, how do we find the joy? How do we find courage and confidence and step ahead when learning to take action when it's needed. How do we learn to hold ourselves in the light and be happy to transmute that no longer serves us, allow it to go, and with the as it burns in the fire, to create something new out of what has happened before. And here a wonderful message. So how do you bring your spirituality in? You don't need to go to 101 different people to tell you how it is. You know how it is. Those of us that are doing things like readings can only say for you what you already know. We can only it can only be a confirmation of what you're feeling. Sometimes it's a case of the window's got a little bit dirty and you are unable to see out of it, and something like a reading or something like a talk to somebody else will take the dust off the window and open the window and allow you to see what is really there, which is within yourself. Yeah, this card this emblem is taken, the symbol is taken from the tortoise shell. And tortoise in this place stands for Mother Earth, all that supports you, all that gives you nourishment. And the feathers stand for Father Sky, Great Spirits, the Divine Mother. That is, you are the connection between all of these. And it says you've come a full circle. You can connect with that ancient medicine man, ancient medicine woman within you that knows these things. You have the answers. It also speaks of being connected to the whales, the energy of the whales and the energy of the dolphins. And they also speak to beings from the star nations, from other galaxies. They are the divine connection, and we can connect to by connecting with them. So a beautiful, beautiful card to tell you that you are the truth. You are the one you are waiting for. You are the one that needs to take things further. And that's very relevant when we talk about looking and allowing our deepest shadows out. You know, and it's okay. You know your strengths. It's okay. Then we look for a card for the emotional beings, and that is the heart center. How do you learn to trust? We have been told that life is an illusion, yes. Especially now, we need to bear that in mind, and we need lightness, and we need humor, and we need to just know that we can do this. But how do we cope with it on an emotional level? How do we stop ourselves feeling overwhelmed? How do we learn to trust ourselves? How do we take the path of least resistance? Stop banging our head on that brick wall, absolutely determined that we want something and it has to look like that. Stop trying to control. We're not in a position of being able to control. We are we are being asked to go with the flow. And that is not a great saying anymore. It's been overused, but the water takes the path of the water will take the path of least obstacles. It will swirl around, it'll wait its time, and it'll go when the opening is there. So look at what's happening in your life. Go with what feels right. It really is very important. The card for this is number 28. It talks of a new beginning. It talks of the importance of the sea, the water, the aspect here being turquoise, of holding yourself in trust. You know who you are. You know what you can do. And now it's time to completely trust that. If you hold yourself in trust and you hold Great Spirit, the beloved Mother, in trust, as well as Mother Earth, and you see yourself with unconditional love, you stop those little tape recorders that go in your head, and of course that dates me hugely because there's no such thing anymore. But whatever it is, those sayings, those things that you hear all the time in your things, that stops you from doing what you feel you should be doing and you need to be doing, because on some level you don't feel good enough. This card says to you, you need to love yourself. Love yourself, look after yourself, nurture yourself, and be in trust that whatever shows itself is exactly what you need to show up for. It is a very, very beautiful card. The thing of holding yourself in trust and holding yourself in unconditional love allows those birds to take flight on wings of joy. It means you are free. You have a freedom within that of knowing that you are exactly where you need to be at any kind of time, that exactly where you should be, and you are dealing with exactly what your soul needs you to deal with at this stage. So there's a lightness to this card. This isn't heavy. This isn't a heavy emotional drain. This is a lightness of being that comes from trusting yourself and loving yourself. Very important to remember when we like to find fault with ourselves, especially as we're digging up those gifts from that we've hidden deep, deep down, and our shadow parts, the parts of us we don't like. Let them out. It's fine. Look at it, live with it, accept it, and move on from it. So now I'm going to pick a card that will show us, that will connect us to our physical being and the physical being of the planet, Mother Earth, how she supports us, how she supports every single being that lives on this planet. And for some reason, we as humans start to think that we don't quite deserve abundance and nurturing and a home. So this is the card that says, all right, we are looking here now at Scorpio and everything that's going to come up into the light. And how do we handle this on a physical thing? How do we look after our health? How do we look after making sure that we're following what our regimes, and at the same time, how are we looking after Mother Earth and everything that she supports? And here we have a very beautiful card. Number 9, end of cycle, no more of that. This card says to you, don't just sit around waiting for something to happen. Be aware that the time is now. Whatever it is that you've been thinking of doing, whatever you've been trying to decide whether you should, the time is now. And it also, this eagle, when we get the eagles, it always talks about your own power. And this is your authentic power, not your ego jumping in and saying how important you are. This is feeling and knowing who you are on an emotional, physical, spiritual, and mental level, and being ready in flight with who you are and ready to grasp any opportunity that Spirit brings your way. The Great Mother has wonderful experiences for you, and all we need to do is be present, be aware. An eagle has the most amazing eyesight. It can spot something tiny on the earth from very, very high up in the air. It flies above any dramas. The eagle flies above any storms where all the other birds will take refuge. And this says to you, you are fine, you are good. Don't let little things trip you up, and especially don't let yourself trip you up. How do you know that you are home, that this is your home? Well, because you are ready for it. This is what you incarnated for, no matter what's going on in your life. You chose this you chose to be here now. You might not have chosen the specific situation that you're in, certainly not with an awareness, but you incarnated to be here for exactly whatever is happening now. And so fly with power, fly with strength, fly with courage, and know that you are, your own physical body is this wonderful thing that houses your spiritual being, and you know what it feels like when you go to a sacred space. You know that feeling of awe. It's time now to have that feeling of awe for your personal body, because it houses the spirit for as long as you're on this planet. So take care of every part of your physical body. Look after yourself. Make sure that you eat, think, and are as healthy as you can, because can be as you deserve it. This is your right. This is what brings you home. Take care. You are worth it. You are very, very worthy and very much enough. And now I am going to pick a card for the air element, and this is our mental state, and it's very much we breathe. If without air we cannot breathe, we can't survive, and we are very much into the thought at the moment that, again, I've spoken about it many times, we're being told that it's toxic, the air. It's time to bring sacredness back to air. It's time to breathe that breath that fills your lungs, that allows the peace in, and on your out breath to remove and let go of all the troubles. Hand everything over to your guides. They know the big picture. We know the day-to-day things as things are unfolding, but your guides know the big picture. And if you keep getting in the way and keep worrying about things after you've asked them to intercede, there's nothing much they can do. So hand it over and stand back and be grateful. It's about giving thanks. It's about making everything a ceremony, making of life a joy, a connection to the Great Mother and Great Spirit. And interestingly enough, picked number 26. Now, 26 is also the date of the full moon. And so this is our challenge card, as well as being the air card. 26 says, you are enough. You do not need somebody else to complete you. You do not need another person or another situation to complete you. You are complete. You are enough. You have arrived. And it asks you to work and be in life as a spiritual being, knowing that you are fully grounded, knowing that you are deeply connected to Mother Earth, and knowing that you're reaching up right up high and deeply connected to Great Spirit and the Great Mother. And know yourself to be the spiritual being that is for this time. And in that being, work from that space, what I love to call the ancient medicine woman or the ancient medicine man that resides within you, that knows all this, your higher self, it knows. So whether you're a teacher, a mother, a child, a spouse, whatever you are, that you're not a different person as a friend, as a work person. You're not a different person taking on a different role in each of these different things. You are the same spiritual being, fully grounded, with your branches reaching to the highest parts of the cosmos, connected as a channel to Great Spirit and to Mother Earth. And you are the one that does all these different things as part of who you are. So you're the same connected being underneath all of it. And it's really, really important to look at that, because that is also our challenge day. I always like to pull up the card for the day, which is the day of the full moon or the new moon. And that is the challenge that we're having. And the challenge is now is to accept that you are enough. So it is your air card and it is your challenge card today. And it is really, really important. You are going to get all the support you need. Your guides are there. Everybody's there. But you're the one that needs to make the journey. You cannot sit back and wait for others and your guides to intercede on your behalf. It isn't going to happen. They are, by their definition, they are guides. They guide you. You still choose what you do. So choose wisely and listen carefully. There's a lot that they can share with you. Okay, so that gives us, just as a quick sum up, the whole energy is to do this in lightness, to know that it's an illusion. Everything that actually seems to be so dreadful, it is really an illusion. Yes, we have to work through it. Yes, we have to do it, but there's no need to get caught up in it. Okay, spiritually, remember that you are the record keeper. You are the connection between heaven and earth. You are the one that really, really knows. Emotionally, trust yourself, love yourself unconditionally, fly on wings of joy. Physically, the time is now. This is an end of cycle. Be ready to accept any new challenges, any new experiences coming your way, any opportunities. There'll be lots of opportunities rising. And your mental, how to keep yourself focused and stop the mental chatter. Remember that you are enough. So finally, I just want to pick a card because I've got it written down here somewhere. On May the 3rd, we have the last quarter, and then the moon is in Aquarius. Aquarius is the time of global things, looking at bigger pictures for humanity. It is a time when you get a strong need. You'll feel a strong need for emotional freedom. It also happens to be on the cusp of what in the northern hemisphere is the Beltane, and what for us is the equivalent of Halloween or Samhain. We are in the southern hemisphere. We experiencing things 6 months difference. It's a time, both the Halloween and Beltane, and it's also the Wesak. Those two spaces where the northern or southern hemisphere, that's when the veils are very much thinner. It's much easier to connect through the veil with those on the other side. So Also, protection, protection, protection. But that is what we need all the time. The deeper you get into spiritual things, the more you have to protect yourself. It's not the other way around, where you think there's no protection needed. Protection, protection, protection. So the card that we're pulling for bringing yourself back into balance, the card of the healer. Remember that, like a diamond is created through great pressure on the earth, so you, having chosen quite a difficult time to grow up through and to live through and to grow through rather than grow up through, the harder the things that you've chosen, the shinier the diamond you are creating of yourself. It is definitely the path of the healer, but we need to move away from the wounded healer as such. This is accepting the gifts that come to you ancestrally and through your guides, and knowing that you can do this. There also is a connection, and sort of an Australian Aboriginal connection, and also an interplanetary, intercosmos, inter-universe connection here. So again, as we spoke of in the spiritual card, is the connection with those beings from star nations. This one speaks of it as well. So be open to being guided, but remember, only ask for divine guidance. You don't want any entities playing games with you. So I hope you enjoyed that. It was really, really good to do it again. And I will see you in 2 weeks' time when we do the new moon. And remember to bring yourself back into balance so that everything can be cleared beautifully after this new moon, so that by the time after this full moon, I apologize, so that by the time the next full moon, a new moon is ready, you are ready to do the very important intentions for the next cycle of your life. So blessings to you all, and thank you very much for listening.